Well, you look at that. 11 days and the whole tray is full of seedlings. We're in the middle of May and all along the roads in the city here there are elm trees. And these elm trees have started to set seed. The streets are covered with them. I decided to take a few home and see whether I can germinate them. I'm not sure what sort of variety it is. It could be anything. And at home I'll take a look and see what I can do with them. The Umus seed is actually quite interesting seed and it makes it easy to identify an elm from other plants. What you can see here in the middle is the actual seed. This is where the young plant sits. The edge around it is just a paper thin sheet that helps the seed disperse. As the seed releases from the tree, the wind catches it, and because it has a very high area compared to the weight, the wind very easily picks it up and blows it away. After collecting the seeds, it is always important to know how to germinate the seeds. And to be honest, I am not completely sure whether all elms germinate quite easily. I have this book. It is a recommendation from my side to get this. It has a wide overview of trees and species and how do you propagate these. I think I have a Scotch elm, Ulmus glabra, because the fruits ripen in May and June. And we're now in the end of May and the seeds are everywhere. So that's a good thing. You collect the seeds when the pigment has disappeared from the seed wing. Once the seed is ripe, it will be dispersed by wind, yes. Fruits are not dewinged. No pre-germination requirements, and after collection it should be sown on the same day if possible, and if stored, keep cool. So yeah, let's get the seeds, get them planted up and see whether we can get this to germinate. It is the 26th of May and the last video, or the last part of the video was taken on the 15th of May. And unbelievably but true, it is 11 days since I first planted these seeds. When the seed lands somewhere in a good spot, what you get is that a tiny little root comes out of the seed. You can see that here. You can also see quite clearly, let me see if I can turn that for you, that the root actually starts here at the seed in the center. So the center of the seed is where the embryo sits and that's where also the young root comes out. Now if you look a little bit later in the development, again, a small root coming out of the center, but also here you can see the start of the plant coming. Through the seed, through the papery layer, here the leaves start to appear. So this will grow down into the soil and this will come up. After this stage, the plant will shed the seed coat and it is an independent little plant. So this is how you can recognize the seed of an elm. It's quite unique. I do not know of any other plants that have this full round papery sheet around the actual seed. Early development. Next stage in development, the plant starts to grow. It sheds the seed coat and the plant becomes an independent plant. This tiny root that you see here is what develops the so-called taproot. This root will go down into the soil and will start looking for water. And until it has established itself, it will not create a lot of side roots. So this of course is quite early to do it, but clipping the tip of the taproot will help to create a better nebari later on. Normally I wait a little bit longer to do this and I'll wait until these first two seed leaves have created the first set of real leaves. As you can tell, the leaves of this do not look like an elm at all. We all know this is what an elm leaf looks like. These first leaves are in fact the seed lobes. and are just there to store energy and to help the plant to grow initially. Only once the plant here starts to grow do you get more structures to develop also in the trunk. The trunk starts to go woody, and the first real leaves that come out, so after the seed lobes, they will have the typical elm shape. So at the seed stage, it is very difficult to recognize what species it is once they have shedded the seed coat, which is quite identifiable as elm. Not all seeds, of course, have germinated. I didn't expect that to happen, but still, there is a good 150, 200 seedlings in there. Guess it is time to move these now into the sun so they can grow strong, thick and short, and I'll start fertilizing them. What an amazing success in such a short time.